Hi, I'm Larry Garber, and I'm going to talk to you today about packing for a high-altitude, multi-day trek uh, to high mountains such as Mount Kilimanjaro. Mount Kilimanjaro is the highest freestanding mountain in the world. It is 19,340 feet high. Freestanding means that it's not part of a mountain range, so it's a single mountain. It's actually a volcano. So one thing that's very important, obviously, is the backpack. You want to have a good backpack. It's got to have a frame to give it some support. The key thing is that you want to be able to transfer the weight from what you have packed in your pack down to the waist strap, so that your weight is actually held on your hips and not on your shoulders. This is one of the backpacks from a company called Osprey, and I like this one a lot. It's very lightweight. And the frame, turn it like this, you can see there's a aluminum frame here that transfers the weight directly down to the hip straps. Another feature that I like about this pack is that on the belt, the hip belt here, which is nicely padded, it also has some pockets that you can actually store things in. This is great for if you want to store snacks or tissues for when you're sweating. It's very, very convenient. Of course, has what most packs have, which is pouches on the side to hold water bottles or other snacks. But this also has a nice setup where you can put, you can hold your Camelback water container. You can slide it right into this netted area, which goes right behind your back. And I'll show you what those units look like. These are three Camelback water units. These are the two on the left are the 3-liter ones, and the one over here I believe is just a little over a liter. And they're nice. You fill them with water and you can stick them in your pack, and then they have a tube that runs down to a mouthpiece, and all you have to do is just bite on that and suck the water out. So it's very, very convenient. We've got, since we're going up Mount Kilimanjaro and there's ice on the top, what we're actually doing is, if you can see on this one, it's actually insulated. It's an insulated tube, and you can keep it covered here. And what we intend to do, one of the problems when you're hiking in sub-zero temperatures is that the water will freeze. So we're actually going to transfer this, the plan is to transfer this and hike on the coldest days with this underneath our jacket. One of the biggest concerns for me is that every time I've gone camping practically in my entire life, it's always rained. For instance, today I'm packing, and we were supposed to have our Boy Scout camp out. This is Rat Day, and we were going camping, but of course it's raining. And you can see outside my window, pouring rain. So you pretty much have to be prepared for rain. And at the bottom of Kilimanjaro, the lower altitudes, they do frequently get rain. So to protect your pack and to be absolutely sure that you have your stuff dry, we have two techniques. One is a pack cover. So this is the pack cover, and it's really just a very thin waterproof material that you'll use. You actually wrap it around the outside of your pack and keeps the pack dry. What I did find when we used this in practice is that you'll still sometimes get water dripping down on the inside here right behind your back, and you could prevent that by wearing a poncho, but if you don't feel like wearing a poncho, then you want to be absolutely sure that your clothes are dry on the inside, so you also need a second waterproof dry sack that you put on the inside. And this is the dry sack that I'm using. And it's just, again, it's a waterproof bag, and you put your clothes inside this and then stick this inside of your backpack. Now, one of the tricky things about this hike is that we're starting out hiking at the equator, where it's extremely hot at the lower altitudes, and then hiking to sub-zero temperatures at the top of Mount Kilimanjaro. So you need to pack for all different sorts of weather. And so our strategy is to pack and hike in layers. So if you start on the inside, we have a synthetic short sleeve shirt. This is to help wick some of the moisture so that you don't get too wet, because then when you get cold, if it doesn't dry quickly, you can actually get hypothermic. So it's recommended not to wear cotton. So we've got, as I said, a synthetic short sleeve shirt. On top of that, we have a synthetic fleece long sleeve shirt, which is nice and warm. On top of that, for the probably, depending on, for medium temperature days, we have a down vest. Down is very nice because it packs very compactly and is very light. And then as for summit day, where it will be the coldest, we also have a down parka, which is long sleeve, which will go on top of these layers. And then on top of that, you want to have a waterproof shell. And what this does is it's waterproof and windproof, so the wind doesn't blow through you. And again, as mentioned before, with my bad luck, we're likely to get rain, and so this is to help keep all of the inner layers dry. For the highest altitudes, you also do need to have some protection for your extra protection for your head and face. So we've got a face mask here. This is actually a ski mask. That's where the nose sticks out, and you breathe through those little holes. And this wraps around to cover your cheeks and chin. I'll have sunglasses, but you could wear ski goggles to cover the area around your eyes. A nice ski hat to add extra protection, cover your ears. And then 2 pairs of gloves. I've got glove liners, which we can use on days when it's cold but not extremely cold. And then on the highest altitudes, I'll also cover myself with some down mittens. Now for the underlayers, again, it's the same approach that you use for the upper layers, which is you will start with many layers on, and as you start to warm up, you start peeling the layers off. The other advantage of having multiple layers is that you can use some of these when you're lounging around at camp at night, and hopefully the outermost layer will protect you from any rain. Again, I like these. These are waterproof shells. What's nice about these, if you can see here, is that you actually can. There's a zipper that runs up the leg from the top all the way down to the bottom, and you actually can completely zip it right off. And so it's very easy to remove this without having to take your boots off. You just zip down completely both sides and the thing just falls off of you. So that's nice to use to start your day out and then expect to peel it off. For the very coldest day, I have an extra fleece here, along with a power fleece, which is a synthetic liner, which is very good for insulation. It's like fancy long underwear, and to help keep you warm. Then inside of that, I usually have some synthetic nylon shorts. These are, most days until we get to the very highest altitudes, I'll actually be able to strip down to just hike in these shorts. And then, of course, your underwear. Now, underneath, whenever we're out hiking and about traveling, this is not what you think it is. This is actually a money belt. And theft is a major concern. You take a break and put your backpack down, and you just need to be really careful not to lose your passport and money. So that's why we have to wear a money belt. For most of my hiking, we'll also have, I'll be using these socks. These are very nice. They're called Right Sock. And what's nice about them is they're actually 2 layers of very thin socks that are synthetic. And so they, one trick when you're hiking is to wear 2 socks so that you don't get blisters. You can see there's a white inner layer, and that dramatically reduces your chance of blisters. On the coldest days, I'll be wearing these other socks, which are nice wool socks. On days that are cool but not going to be wet, I may actually just wear these synthetic pants. These are nice just because they've got lots of pockets, make it easy access to various things. The other thing that we're going to do in the beginning, and we'll see how long we actually need to use these. These are gaiters. These strap onto the bottom of your boots and cover and wrap around. And they serve 2 purposes. Well, actually several purposes. One is that if it's raining, they actually can wick the water, wash the water off your boot so that it doesn't get into the laces or into the collar of your boot. So it minimizes the chance of you getting wet feet. When you're walking around brush, you're less likely to be scraping up your shins when you're wearing these, and especially any thorny low brush. And then the other thing is this keeps particles, pebbles and dirt that may get kicked up, prevents them from landing into the collar of your boot and going into the inside of your boot.